Well, it's the last day of the league rounds here, the HBL Pakistan Super League 9, and what a cracker of a match we have. The Quetta Gladiators are taking on the Multan Sultans in match number 30, live of course from the National Bank Stadium, Karachi. Well, today couldn't mean more in the context of the HBL PSL playoffs, because whoever wins between the Quetta Gladiators and the Multan Sultans, they secure a top 2 position, which is so important because it means you get 2 chances to qualify for the all-important final. And after 13 games, we've got our points table and our standings. And as we can see, the Multan Sultans, they're sitting in second, but the Quetta Gladiators, they can jump all the way into that second position should they get a win today. All to play for today, and the playoffs, well, this is exactly how it's going to work. It's a very familiar road to the finals that we see in many editions of franchise cricket around the world. First and second playoff in the qualifier on March 14, and third and fourth will go on the eliminator, and we go from there to see who will be at the big dance on the 18th of March. It's a very warm welcome to the pitchside studio here. It's a beautiful night for a game of cricket. Aruj Mumtaz and Michael Clark alongside me. And I just want to make notice before we started the beautiful gold ribbons that we're wearing today. It's Golden Ribbon Day we're observing today, supporting childhood cancer. And I've seen a couple of the wonderful patients out here and enjoying this spectacle of cricket, Aruj. And as a mum, I think what an important cause that we are supporting here today.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic that the HBL Pakistan Super League takes sort of the first step in awareness, recognition, and obviously recognizing. And it is about awareness, isn't it? And like you mentioned, when it comes to children, it's a whole different ball game. So we're very, very happy to spread the message and support for child cancer awareness.
And Clarky, we're going to put on a show for them today because it's such an important game in the context of what's going to happen. You haven't seen the Multan Sultans in action yet, but you know they are the form side. They've been runners-up 2 years in a row, and you get to see Usman Khan in action. Yeah,
I can't wait. It's a big game. Obviously, that second place is huge. You get a second crack. I think the other thing as well, I'm looking forward to seeing what conditions are like tonight. We saw a surface yesterday that really spun. Quetta winning the toss and electing to bowl first as well, which is interesting as well. They seem to like chasing after their most recent win here as well. So very interesting to see how the surface plays and how both teams adapt to that.
Yeah, absolutely. As you alluded to just then, we did have the toss a little earlier today. Bazir Khan officiating that one. Flip of the coin came down the way of the Quetta Gladiators, winning that and electing to bowl first. The opposite to what we saw from Peshawar Zalmi yesterday, but they think, given the conditions, that is the right option, which brings the Multan Sultans into bat first. It's an unchanged side for them, Aruj Mumtaz. And, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, huh?
Well, absolutely. Rizwan was very quick to answer that when Baz asked him, what's your side? And it remains unchanged because they've been scoring the bulk of runs. Rizwan right up there. And then number 4, it's difficult to talk and get past Usman Khan. He's got 100, 106 and 96, 3 in a row, and including the century here. So he's been scoring all around, familiarizing with conditions and scoring at a very, very good strike rate. Then that middle order, Johnson Charles, just the one game, got 42 odd. Iftikhar is there as well. Probably hasn't had the best tournament in terms of Iftikhar standards. But then you look at that 5 to follow. David Willey, Chris Jordan, Osama Mir, Abbas Afridi, and stinging like a bee, Muhammad Ali. He's had a phenomenal tournament. And that 5 combination of their bowlers, along with Iftikhar, they look a very top side.
Yeah, it's a stacked side, very strong in all departments. One change, though, for the Quetta Gladiators today. And the mystery spinner, the man who's been wonderful for them throughout. Well, had a suspect action that was reported. He is playing today. Usman Tariq, he's been a real handful. Michael Clark, and he makes way. Sohail Khan makes way for him today.
Yeah, spin to win for Quetta. It looks like they're expecting this wicket to be a little bit tacky. 3 spinners in that lineup. And again, I think some experience through the top. Right-hand, left-hand combinations through that middle order as well. I look to Riley Russo as captain to lead from the front, and we spoke to Shane Watson after their last performance here. They said they took a lot from the conditions. So let's see if they can utilise their learnings in tonight's game.
Great to see him back on the park. But when we talk about why Quetta Gladiators have had such a wonderful season, compared to the last 4 seasons where they failed to make the playoffs, Michael Clark, you've seen Saud Shakil in action. He's been brilliant at the top of the order, obviously with Jason Roy. What have you liked about what you've seen from the youngster and how he's grasped this opportunity? Like, he sat on the bench for 3 seasons.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, look, I think it's the intent most importantly. And again, batting at the top of the order, there's an expectation that you've got to dominate early. You've got to maximise the power play. So I think the maturity that he showed, probably having Jason Roy beside him, plays a big part as well, gives him confidence. But he's got all the shots, we've seen that, and he's been able to utilise. I think in different conditions, he's been able to play his natural game. Like I say, there's a little ramp, he's got them all, he times the ball beautifully. That little flick off his hip, he times as well as any current player, so I'm expecting nothing different tonight.
He was absolutely brilliant there. Player of the match against Lahore Qalandars in their last match. But the mystery spinner, Usman Tariq, he's back in the side, Erosion. I mean, I get stressed out as a viewer watching him, let alone having to be a batter facing that. That pause, the way he sort of saunters in, you know, like no one's business at the crease. That must be impossible to face.
It's not just a pause. It's almost like full stop and then he goes again, because normally, I mean, a lot of off spinners or some have that pause up in the gather. This is almost stop, look, and then I'm going to throw the ball, and it comes out a few different ways as well. So it's very difficult to pick it up. Also, if you're a batter and if you want to come down the track to meet it at the where it's pitching, it's difficult because you don't know when to come out. And then when he's got a few different variations, so it's good to see that he's been cleared and he was available for selection and gets picked, because he had a phenomenal outing first game around.
It is the first time you're going to be seeing the Multan Sultans in action, Michael, but you were watching that game, as we all were in Pindi, when Usman Khan once again, his second 50 this edition of the tournament, 100 or 50 balls. You were absolutely frothing what you were watching as a batter, weren't you?
Honestly, what a star. The innings I watched, he didn't miss time of delivery. It felt like every ball hit the middle of the bat. Again, another one that's got all the shots, but unbelievable power and timing. He's been in unreal nick, 200s and a 90, obviously in terrific form. And again, he'll want that to continue. And I think this is where the pressure comes in from this game and then moving into the finals. You want to see if he can keep this momentum going.
And averaged 309 runs in 4 games. He only played half the season as well. It's just unbelievable. That strike rate there. Big name sitting behind Tim David and Muhammad Harris. He's just been brilliant.
It's not unbelievable. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculously unbelievable what he's been able to do. And like I said, he's done it at 3 different venues. So adapting to conditions. And like Michael said, it's timing with the force as well. So it's not just close your eyes, bang and wash the ball. He's been able to adapt, which is a key feature. Because I mentioned this up on comms as well. It'll be different because bulk of his runs last time round came in Pindi, where there were absolute roads to bat on. And it was important to see how he played this season. And I think he's proving his mettle ever so more this time round.
I know it's hard to say, Pup, but what do you think you're expecting today? Who's got it?
Oh, geez. I think it's going to be a close game again. I just think this surface brings the teams close together. You know what? I'm going to say Quetta because I feel like them playing here the other day might have helped them a lot. So I'm going to go with them to win.
Ball 1 coming up right after this. Winner takes all with the top 2 position. Do not go anywhere. Ball 1 after the break.